Yachts, luxury apartments, gold watches, we all picture wealth differently. But true billionaires know the real secret. Money loves silence. That's why the quiet path to wealth isn't just the right one. It's the most sustainable, safe, and effective. And it all starts with simple things most people overlook. Take billionaire investor Ray Dalio, for example. He believes every form of wealth begins with investing in your health. In his view, every dollar you make starts with you, with what you think about, how quickly you make decisions, and how long you can stay productive. None of that is possible without strong health. Yet most people neglect their diet, ignore sleep quality, and don't even spend 10 minutes on morning exercise. These small habits work like invisible dividends. The better your body feels, the sharper your mind, the faster your decisions, and the greater your output. Dalio himself not only monitors his health closely, but also makes meditation a daily practice. He said more than once that meditation was the very thing that helped him keep his focus and stay calm when markets were crashing.
Basically, the brain's got two parts to it, right? It has the logical part of your brain, reasonable, tries to reason things through, and that which is conscious. And then it has the subconscious mind, which is the subliminal that is really driving you. And so when you can reflect, okay, how are my emotions entering into it? What do I, and so on. And you can think and you can align that. That's very powerful. And meditation, by the way, naturally does that, because what you do when you meditate, what you do is it's a process by which you sit quietly and you repeat in your mind what is called a mantra, which is a sound that it's a word that has no meaning. Let me say the most classic example of that would be Om. Okay, so you quietly there and you go, with your breath, you go, Om, Om, like that. But you need to be taught. But anyway, Om. And so when you're doing that, because your Om is in your mind or your mantra is in your mind, you're not able to have other thoughts. You'll see yourself wavering between doing that and staying on the mantra and then having thoughts. And then you go back to your mantra. When you are in the mantra a lot, then it disappears. The sound disappears and you go into your subconscious mind. When you're in your subconscious state, then it's relaxing, it's helpful. And this process helps to bring your conscious state and your subconscious state into alignment. In other words, you recognize both and it calms you down. It's like the ninja in the ninja movies, they're fighting, but it seems in slow motion. The camera shows them in slow motion and they're doing whatever they're doing along that. It kind of makes you in that kind of state of mind so that you're dealing with what's coming at you in that way.
Long-term wealth, says billionaire Warren Buffett, comes down to managing every dollar wisely. One of the most famous investors in the world, he has never been one to waste money. Despite a fortune worth tens of billions, he still lives in the same modest house he bought more than 50 years ago for $31,500. For him, comfort isn't measured by luxury, and the habit of controlling expenses became the foundation on which his investment empire was built.
I could buy any house in the world, and I don't want any other house than the one I'm in. And that house is in a middle-class neighborhood. I'm happy in a pair of khakis and a sweater, so I don't need fancy clothes. I don't need fancy food.
Do you have an iPad?
I do not have an iPad.
iPhone?
No.
The principle is simple. Spend less than you earn and put the difference into assets, stocks, businesses, real estate. Most people, when their income grows, immediately raise their spending too. A new car, a bigger house, price your habits. In the end, their actual wealth never grows. Buffett shows the opposite way. Extra money should work for you, not turn into unnecessary toys. Living below your means doesn't mean giving up joy or living in poverty. It's about discipline and knowing the difference between needs and wants. When you stop chasing showy luxury, you gain freedom. Money starts to quietly build and multiply, and that's how stealth wealth grows, until one day it becomes true financial independence. Another billionaire, Jeff Bezos, believes that the greatest ally of wealth is time. Those who understand the power of the long game will always come out on top. Bezos himself is the perfect example. When he created Amazon, he told investors right away there would be no profit for the first few years. His goal wasn't to make quick money. It was to capture the market and build infrastructure for decades to come. At first glance, this approach looked risky, but it proved brilliant. Patience and a strategy of playing the long game are exactly what made him one of the richest people in the world. Money follows the same rule. If you invest not with a horizon of months or even a year, but 10 to 20 years, you unlock the magic of compound interest. That's when interest starts earning more interest, and your capital grows exponentially. People who think short-term chase quick wins act on emotion and often lose everything. But those who choose long-term growth quietly and steadily multiply their wealth, even if each step seems small. Planning decades ahead isn't just about money, it's about mindset. Thinking long-term builds discipline. You stop reacting to every market swing, resist panic, and focus on what really matters. This hack teaches you to think not in terms of your next vacation or purchase, but about your family's future, the next generation, and the legacy you'll leave behind. But everything can collapse in an instant if you don't recognize the biggest enemies of your wealth. Billionaire Mark Cuban believes the number one enemy of wealth is debt. Most people fall into the trap of maintaining their image and comfort at the expense of borrowed money, and in the end, they lose far more than they gain. Cuban has admitted that early in his career he avoided credit cards altogether because he understood how quickly interest turns a loan into a bottomless pit. In his philosophy, every dollar of debt is a chain that takes away your freedom and slows your path to financial independence. That mindset not only helped him protect his capital, but also allowed him to quickly reinvest earnings into new projects. You have to be crystal clear. Debt kills growth potential. While one person is paying monthly interest on a car or a phone, another is putting that same money into assets that generate returns. The financial system is built so that credit works for the lender, not the borrower. By staying out of debt, you protect yourself from the silent leak of wealth that quietly drains your future month after month. Cuban often says, if you've got cash in your account, you're already one step ahead of most people. But it's not just about avoiding new debts. It's about steadily paying down the old ones. Every cleared credit card or loan is a small victory, another step toward freedom. Once those interest payments disappear, more of your money is freed up for savings and investments. The process is like cutting ballast from a hot air balloon. The fewer debts weighing you down, the faster you rise toward your financial goals.